So many times on my episode, I talk about the power of being transparent, the power in admitting some of our fears, some of our apprehensions. And in this episode, we're going to talk about that. And I'm excited just to have an open dialogue about how important it is that we have to decide that it's okay to be visible. Because when we are visible, the people who are looking for us can find us. Welcome back to another episode of Rollerset to Mindset, a podcast where I speak to women, particularly those women who are in the third quarter of life, 50 and over, who you find yourself at a crossroad and you're trying to figure out what is your next chapter. So I try to guide women through their next chapter through clarity, through courage, through confidence, and ultimately achieve bliss so that you can live your life with joy and bliss, knowing that you're on the right journey to create a brand new chapter in your life. So let's talk about the power of being visible and how sometimes that could be so scary. And the reason I can bring that up is because earlier today I went to a health fair with my daughter, who is a somatic practitioner and a stretch therapist. I went there to support her and just to engage with women. But let me tell you, I hesitated initially when she invited me along because sometimes we get so locked in to our own routine. We engage and we hang out and we have fun with women that we are accustomed to hanging around, women that we have enjoyed the company of for so long that we can sometimes feel like there's no need to experience something new. Um, Different type of women who are doing different things. And so I said, well, it's a health and wellness event. That is so much up. That's right in my lane. So let me go. So I rearranged my schedule and I went to this event. And let me tell you, I am so grateful. I am so happy with myself that I went. I met some of the most incredible women who are doing non traditional things when it comes to wellness. I met women who did Reiki, I moving energy through the body. I met women who were acupuncturists. I met women who were massage therapists, chiropractors, you name it, the full gamut of wellness. There were women there doing unconventional things when it comes to uh, treating our bodies, treating our minds, treating our headspace uh, with a new idea, new ideas, new a new thought as it pertains to wellness, not the traditional stuff. There were so many women there, Pilates instructors, yoga instructors. I mean, it was just filled to the entire gamut, and I got to experience them working in their element and allowing myself to be engulfed in their expertise and then exchanging ideas on how important it is for us to just, they say in the business world, diversify your portfolio. How important it is for us to diversify the activities that we do when it comes to wellness. And I want to know your thoughts on that. If you think that you're in a rut because you're doing the same thing to maintain your wellness, your health, if that is you, I want you to say in the chat if you are especially if you are watching this podcast on YouTube, put in the chat that you are just tired of the traditional way of approaching your health and your wellness. And if so, tell me some of the traditional things that you find yourself doing, but you also are curious about more innovative, non-traditional, holistic ways of optimizing your wellness. And if you are one of those person who's looking, then I want to encourage you to just step outside your box. Step outside your box and seek out what other women are doing. Women of different races, women of different ages. Just check out what they are doing. And you'd be surprised how that can enrich your experience as it pertains to wellness. Because I know I am not the only one who who is just bored with the same old routine, going to the gym or going for a walk or the basic stuff. Why not expand our minds, expand our horizon and step out, step beyond our circle, step outside of our box and see what other disciplines have to offer. You'd surprise yourself because I certainly surprised myself. Excuse me. And so it was not only just interacting with women who were um, masters in their own gifts, but holding conversations. And you know what I found out? Like I said, I mainly work with women who are in the third quarter of life, 50 plus. But there were women there who were in their 20s, who were in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s. And guess what I found out? I found out that we all have the same inhibitions. We have the same self-doubt. We share fear of going even further, of just maximizing our gifts. We all are, on some level, afraid to elevate ourselves. And a lot of women out there, a lot of us, we don't even know why. We haven't taken the time to examine where these fears or beliefs about how far we can go, what we can be, who we can be, what we can have, what we can do. Because if you did that, you will find that a lot of these thoughts, a lot of these self-doubts, a lot of these limiting beliefs that we put on ourselves, a lot of the ceilings that we put on ourselves is not even ours. It's not even ours to carry. It's not even ours to own. It was ideas that was placed on us by our aunties, our moms, our grandmoms, the women in our environment. And what we ended up doing was adopting it as our own. But I found out today through just engaging with the women out there. I stopped at certain tables. There were several women who came to my daughter's table because she was doing some stretch therapy out there. And I'm a hugger, so I introduced myself and I asked them, would you mind if I hug you? Are you a hugger? And just through hugging women, I found out so much was transmitted. I found out that we are all vulnerable. We all share the same limiting beliefs. We walk around like we got it all together when deep down inside, there's so much healing that needs to take place. I talked about to women. Well, first of all, they were admiring the fact that my daughter and I were working so well together. And guess what? I found out that there's so many women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s who don't even have a genuine, close, loving relationship with their mom. That thing, that just hurt me. That touched me. And so I stepped out boldly and engaged in that conversation. I asked them, where do they think the ball was dropped? And so I'm asking you, If you struggle with a relationship with your mom, where do you think the ball was dropped? When did this disconnect happen? And even if you aren't a mom, because not all of my listeners, my viewers are moms. But if you walk in this earth, then that means you are a daughter. So when did the pain, when did the disruption happen in being a daughter? And when are you going to decide to heal that place, to heal the daughter within you? Because if you don't, you're holding yourself back. You are holding back all of who you are. So that is a form of being invisible. You're not allowing yourself to move and just be at the highest level of your being. And so when you don't do that, the people who are looking to engage with you, they'll never be able to find you because you're not showing them who you are. And so let me know, what are your fears around being visible? What's keeping you from showing who you are so that you can fully give your gift to the world? No, let the up the window, push the door wide open, and walk through boldly with all of your greatness, with all of your glory, with all of your gifts, with all of your idiosyncrasies, and make it your mission to change not just your life, not just your world, but the world. Because there are a group of women, I believe, that's assigned to each of you. And if you hold back your full, beautiful, imperfect self, those women will not be able to find you. As a matter of fact, you will find yourself attracting the wrong group. And we know what that could be like. We know what that can be like. So how many of you are going to make it a point to slowly reveal more of who you genuinely are? And if you don't know who you are, how many of you are going to work with every fiber in your being to find out who that person is, to find out who that little girl is, to find out who that daughter is in you, who that friend, that real friend is in you, that real sister, that real auntie? And I want to encourage you to get to know that person, not who someone told you you were, not who you were led to believe who you are because of some of the mistakes that you made, no, or some of the decisions that you made that wasn't favorable for those who wanted you to lead a certain type of life. I want you to get to know that little girl within you from your perspective. No one knows her better than you. I want you to get to know the daughter in you better than anyone else, because no one knows that daughter better than you. I want you to get to know that auntie in you from your perspective, because nobody knows that auntie better than you. So if you find yourself fitting the profile of the person I just ran down, and you are looking to create a whole nother vibe within yourself, then I want you to consider taking that leap. When I decided that I wanted to for 35 years, I've helped women to look and feel beautiful on the outside. I transform women on the outside for 30 plus years. But what I discovered was that most of them, 98% of them came to me to get their hair done, to transform on the outside. And then through my whole entire career, I had this thing was all of my clients knew the drill. They could not leave out of my chair or out of the salon without putting on their earrings and their lipstick. That was a full requirement. I would threaten them, if you don't bring your lipstick and earrings, then you cannot book another appointment. So that was our dance together for the 30 plus years. And so a lot of transformation took place on the outside. But what I found is most of them, 98% of them, stayed for the transformation that I help guide them through on the inside. So naturally, the progression was to become a transformation life coach. And I tell you, I get so much joy out of that, helping women to transform on the inside. So I've created a membership, the Fuller Life Chapter Hub. I'll put the link in the show notes below. And it's housed on School, private community. And guess what? It's a free community. And when I say free now, you got to do something. You pay with something. You pay with your time, and you pay with your participation. You pay with your vulnerability. And listen, I'm building it from the ground up. So it gives you an opportunity to be a part of the founding members, a part of the growth. And that's what I want. I want a membership, a community that's just not built by me, because I can build it overnight. But as my members come in, we build it together so it becomes ours. And my goal is to help you transform from the inside out by offering you the power of clarity, of being clear about who you are, whose you are, what's meant for you. So we work through clarity, and then we venture on to courage, what that looks like for you as an individual. And with that courage, you build confidence. I teach you how to build confidence by doing a thing again and again and again and again. And I truly believe from my own life experience that when you have clarity, when you have courage, when you have confidence, then you begin to live a life of bliss. You begin to live a life of bliss, and you operate from a place of joy. So if this sounds interesting to you, pass this video on, share the podcast, share the episode out, and, to someone who you think might could use it. And I would love for you to check out my community, Fuller Life Chapter Hub. All right. I'll talk with you soon. Okay? Bye. Mwah.